Welcoming you to the lecture number 2 of unit number 2. Today we will discuss unit number 2 of IE&IFS, which is sectors of the Indian economy. So the entire lecture will be in English language, so it will be comfortable for you to understand each and every concept. So these are the topics we are going to discuss. What is the role and importance of primary, secondary and tertiary, quaternary and quinary sector? What are the differences between these sectors? What are the different revolution in primary sector, GDP contribution of different sector, agriculture, industry, services, employment growth rate in secondary sector. All these things we are going to discuss. So now let's begin. First of all, let's see what are the sectors of Indian economy. What are the major sectors of Indian economy? So the first thing is agriculture, right? You know, agriculture is a primary sector activity. So friends, the first thing is agriculture. Agriculture is a primary sector activity that involves the cultivation of crop, raising livestock and other farming practices. It includes, what agriculture includes? It includes activities like planting seed, growing crop, taking care of animals and harvesting. The next thing is forestry. So these are the primary sectors, right? So we are discussing the primary sectors, what does it constitutes. So first thing we have talked about is agriculture. The second type of primary sector is called forestry. What is forestry? Forestry refers to the management. It refers to the management and cultivation of forest to obtain wood, timber, etc. So, forestry refers to the management and cultivation of forest to obtain woods, timber, and other forest products. It involves activities like planting and maintaining trees, logging and processing woods, right, for various purposes. The third thing is fishing. So fishing is another primary sector activity that involves catching fish and other aquatic organisms from river, lakes and ocean. It includes activities like using nets, fishing rods or boats to catch fish. So you can see the primary sector constitutes the three important sectors, which is agriculture, forestry and fishing. Now let's move to the secondary sector. So we are discussing what are the sectors of Indian economy. So secondary sector, the first thing is processing of raw material, right? So what does it mean? The secondary sector involves economic activities that focus on processing raw material obtained from the primary sector. So whatever raw material we obtain from the primary sector, we process them, and it is the focus of the secondary sector. This sector is also known as the industrial sector because it involves manufacturing and construction activities. So why secondary sector is also called industrial sector? Because it involves manufacturing and construction activities. Like for example, turning cotton. Cotton is a raw material into fabric. Okay, so you turn cotton into fabric, or using iron ore to produce steel. All of these are processes in secondary sector. Now let's talk about contribution to GDP and employment. So the secondary sector plays a significant role in the country economy. The secondary sector plays a significant role in the country economy. How does it play a significant role? So it contributes at least half of the country national domestic product. Now half of the country national GDP, which is what is the meaning of GDP? GDP is the total value of all goods and services produced in a country. So the secondary sector contributes at least half of the country national GDP. It also generates employment opportunity by creating job in factories, manufacturing plants, construction sites. Okay, so this way this sector plays a very important role. Now let's talk about the third sector, which is the tertiary sector. So now let's talk about the tertiary sector. Okay, what is the role of tertiary sector? Let's discuss. So the third sector we have is the tertiary sector. So in tertiary sector refers to the part of economy that involves providing services. It includes activities like education, healthcare, banking, communication and more. So like in education, when you go to school or college to learn, you are participating in the tertiary sector. When you visit a doctor or hospital for medical treatment, you are engaging with the tertiary sector. When you deposit money in a bank, withdraw cash or using online banking services, you are involved in tertiary sector. When you are making a phone call, send a text message or using the internet to connect with others, you are utilizing the service provided by the tertiary sector. The next sector that we have is the quaternary sector. So let's discuss what is a quaternary sector in detail. So basically, quaternary sector, this is also known as a knowledge sector. It is focused on activities that involve intellectual works, research and development. So R&D works, research and development works. So first of all, teaching, right? So teaching, when someone works as a teacher or professor, they are a part of the quaternary sector. The next is research. So when the scientist, researcher, or a scholar conduct investigation to expand knowledge in their field, they are engaged in the quaternary sector. Next is development. When companies invest in research and development to create innovative products or improve existing one, they are operating in the quaternary sector. This could involve developing new software, designing advanced machinery, or inventing new material. So this was all about tertiary sector and quaternary sector. The next sector that we have is the quinary sector. So basically, quinary sector represents the highest level of decision making in the government. So first of all, it's in both the government and the private corporate sector. Okay, so it includes individuals who are considered the brain behind the socio-economic performance of an economy. So occupation with this sector typically involves senior company executives, government officials, research scientists, financial advisors, and legal advisors. So now let's discuss each and every portion. So the first we talked about is senior level executive, right? So let's discuss who is senior level of executive. So basically, senior company executive are individuals who hold high level position in companies such as CEO, such as CFO, such as CMO. So they make a strategic decision. They make a strategic decision for the company and are responsible for its overall success. The next is government official. Government official at the highest level such as president, prime minister, cabinet minister. So friends, like senior company executive are the individual who hold high level position in the companies such as CEO, CFO, CMO, government official at the highest level such as president, prime minister, cabinet minister, and other top level bureaucrats also fall under the quinary sector. Now research scientists who work in cutting edge field such as biomedical research, space exploration, or environmental studies, so they are also part of the quinary sector. These scientists conduct advanced research, develop innovative technology, and contribute to the overall scientific knowledge base. Now, financial and legal advisor. Let's talk about financial and legal advisor. So it includes high-ranking professionals like investment banker, financial analyst, corporate lawyer. So they are also part of the quinary sector. They provide specialized advice to the companies, government, and individual, guiding them on the complex financial and legal matters. So these are the difference. Now let's talk about the difference between the sector. So primary sector, agriculture, forestry, mining, these are the activities in the primary sector. Manufacturing unit, small scale unit, major enterprises, and global organization, these are a part of the secondary sector. Tertiary sector involve banking, insurance, and communication. Now primary sector is also called agriculture and associated service. Secondary sector, the industrial and manufacturing sector, is often called the manufacturing sector. Tertiary sector is also called the service sector. Now the primary sector provides raw material for the production of goods and services. The secondary sector transformed one goods into another by the value addition to it. And the tertiary sector offers valuable services to the primary and secondary sector. In the primary sector is organized and most of the time employs old method. The secondary sector is organized and it employs more efficient production method. The tertiary sector is well organized and use advanced logistic technique to carry out its task. So now in the most developing economies such as India, the primary sector it employs a large proportion of the workforce compared to the developed country. In the secondary sector, since this sector requires a particular set of talents, the employment rate is in equilibrium. In the tertiary sector, the sector employment share has risen dramatically in the recent year. So this is how we categorize the differentiation between the primary sector, secondary sector, and the tertiary sector. Now let's talk about what are different revolution in the primary sector. So friends, the traditional first thing is traditional subsistence and livelihood farming. So traditionally, farming in India has been characterized by the small scale agriculture practices where farmer grew crop mainly for their own subsistence and livelihood. This means that the farmer grew crop primarily to feed themselves and their families rather than for the commercial purpose. For example, a farmer who grow rice, vegetables, and fruit to sustain their family food needs would fall under this category. The second is rain-fed farming. What does it mean? It means agriculture practices that rely heavily on rainfall for irrigation and crop growth. So farmer in the rain-fed area depends on the seasonal rainfall to water their crop and do not have access to advanced irrigation system or water resources. The third is food grain orientation. So the agriculture sector in India has historically focused on production of food grain such as rice, wheat, and maize. So the government has prioritized ensuring food security by promoting the cultivation of these crops to meet the country demand for a staple food item. The next is deficiency in the diversification and commercialization. What does it mean? In the past, Indian agriculture sector has been deficient in diversification and commercialization. This means the farmer often grow not only a limited range of crop and have not enough opportunity to engage in a commercial activities. Lack of diversification restrict farmer income potential and make them vulnerable to the market fluctuation. To overcome the challenges posed by the growing population and rising wages, particularly among the poor, Indian government has implemented a series of revolution in the primary sector. So some revolution like green revolution we will discuss. You can see the green revolution, one of the most significant agriculture revolution. It focused on increasing agriculture productivity through the adoption of high yielding crop varieties, advanced irrigation techniques, the use of fertilizer and pesticides. That this revolution has led to the significant increase in food grain production. Now you can see white revolution, yellow revolution, blue revolution, and this chart is very important because you question may be asked that green revolution is related to which field, white revolution is related to which field, yellow revolution related to which field, blue revolution to fish and aqua, golden revolution to fruit, honey and horticulture, then silver revolution to eggs, pink revolution to pharmaceutical, prawn या onion, red revolution to meat and tomato, grey revolution to fertilizer. So this is how the revolution and the fields are correlated. So friends, this was the part 1 lecture of our unit number 2. If you are interested for such type of videos, please WhatsApp me on the number or install our app. All the videos are available there. You can take help of this video to consolidate your understanding, to improve your understanding of the subjects. Thank you.